Hello.
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 Oh.
Welcome to the run of the Binding of Isaac Repentance. This is Shigan, this is Gamonymous, I'm Amjel, and I will be commentating that race. And today we'll be doing a race of a 7-character speedrun of Season 1 for this latest DLC for this game. So probably the guys will just jump into it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh. I did it. It's fine.
Yeah, so...
Oh, nice.
Okay. So, what is the idea of this season? So, the Repentance is the latest DLC for the game, and it has introduced a lot of new stuff, new characters, new items, new endings. So, the emphasis of this season is to let players pick between the normal and tainted versions of characters. The tainted versions of characters are in some way different from the normal versions that you can be familiar with. Some are better, some are worse. And we're starting with Tainted Keeper. Tainted Keeper starts with 2 HP, which are coins. And for killing enemies, he gets some coins in return. So all the items cost money on the character. And for the sake of starting the speedrun quickly, each player is granted 15 coins at the very beginning, so that they can start and run. And also, we can probably see the D6 in the right bottom corner, which is really unusual to all the vanilla players. Firstly, because it has ESA logo instead of normal sprite, but usually the D6 is only the starting item of the character called Isaac, and it's also usually put in the upper left corner. But for the consistency, firstly, each character starts with it, so we can get our runs go faster. Yes, it is like a little bit easier, very much easier way to play the game, but it doesn't let us like struggle with speedrunning. And it is put into the pocket active item slot. In the previous versions of speedrun, we usually had schoolbag, which lets us hold 2 items instead of 1. But now it is just put in the pocket active items, so technically we cannot throw it out now, but nothing really changes. So, we are already 2 minutes into the run, and a lot of stuff has happened. Firstly, both runners have started the same item, Godhead. It is not in the normal vanilla game in the item pool. It is usually an angel pool item, which means it's slightly a little bit much better item. But for balancing issues, the community has decided to have it as a starting item. It has been kind of nerfed during the shift to this DLC, and then buffed in one of the patches. But this item applies aura around the tears of the player, and it deals 2 damage per tick, if I'm not mistaken, and before it was 1. So don't be scared. This will be really far off vanilla, so... And we know that. So, and there are many items picked on both sides, so Shigan got Steam Sale. At first, it's a very crucial item for Tainted Keeper, as all the items cost money. He can buy them twice as cheap, which allows him to buy much more stuff. And then he got Flight and Speed Up in the first Devil Deal, and then Birthright, the second item in Caves 1. It's the item that allows player to not to like run towards the coins will be magnetized towards the player at some radius, so it really speeds up the gameplay on Tainted Keeper. Also, he has the Emperor card that he will use in the last floor to teleport to the boss, and he's buying a lot of stuff. Like, I will come back to you soon, sorry, don't worry. It's really hard to concentrate on both of you at the same time. I'll just end here and switch to Gamonymous. Restock, which allows the items to come back in the shop. And by that I mean that when you buy an item in the shop, usually you're getting an empty space. But then with this item, another item will appear on that spot. And it will cost a little bit more money. That's the nerf in the latest expansion. And then some stats up on Shigan's side. I think that's it, right? So, Gamon. Gamo also bought an interesting item called Keeper's Sack. He also got an Emperor, by the way. But he has a blank card, so good luck.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I will explain everything. So Keeper's Sack is the item that applies a permanent stats buff as soon as you buy an item in the shop. And this item is especially good on Tainted Keeper, because you buy everything. Then several stats up, tears up, most importantly. So he got, for example, tears up aura from Purity, that blue thingy around him. Constellation price, which is usually the item that applies a buff to the lowest stat. But considering that Tainted Keeper starts with quad shot, tier rate is his lowest stat. And other than that, he's just storming through the floors using Blank Card Emperor. Blank Card is the item that replicates the effects of the card that you're holding. It's an active item, and Emperor just teleports you to the boss. And since the latest expansion, it is a 4-room charge instead of 6. So he only needs to clear 3 rooms of the floor, usually before getting to the boss, next boss, and 3 rooms and the boss of the previous floor. That's why 3. So this will be a very quick run. And yeah, Shigen, you'll need to catch up.
I will, don't worry.
Yeah, Shigen got Uranus and Planetarium. So Planetariums are new types of rooms implemented in the latest expansion, in Repentance. And Uranus is an item that has chance to freeze enemies. And you also can push those frozen enemies into the other enemies to freeze them or damage them. Usually it's not it's not considered one of the best items, and sometimes it's even considered not a very good item, I would say. As soon as you don't have pierce in your stuff, because then the tears do not go through the frozen enemies and you have to go through them, so you might lose some time. But it should be fine with this setup. Gamma is, by the way, on Blue Baby, Shigen. How do you feel about that?
Good.
It's a 6 minutes Tainted Keeper. He's on to the next character, which is the Lost. So he got Undefined in the first item room and rolled his Eternal D6 into Polyphemus. Shigen, you'll need to run.
I feel good, don't worry.
This is how the world record for this season started, by the way. Like exactly, probably with a difference of another starting item, but it was Undefined on the second character. So, I will speak a little bit about the Lost. The Lost is the character that starts with this little cross thingy. It means that he can get hit once per room, and as soon as he gets hit second time, he dies. So, it's very easy to die, but usually good speedrunners, they don't die that much with better starts. And he starts with Eternal D6. It's another item that rerolls items into other items, but it has 30% chance to delete the item when you roll it. But it has been substituted by Undefined for Gamonymous. Undefined is an item that teleports you to one of the special rooms on the floor, and one of them being the Error Room. Error Room means that you skip the floor completely and go on to the next one, and maybe get some goodies in that room. But it can also get teleported to the Item Room, Secret Room, Super Secret Room. So let's see how many skips you get. If you get more than one, we're banning you from the leaderboard.
But he's a moderator anyway.
But he's a moderator, unfortunately. Yeah, that's true.
Can he ban himself, like?
Yeah, if you see some interesting sprites like this Happy Meal, don't worry, it's just a graphic mod. Normally it's just a sack with some goodies. Shigen is getting piercing for his Godhead, which is usually the best item that he can get, as you can just pierce enemies with your aura. And also Uranus is now not a problem at all. And Gamma is fighting Little Goody in B2. So let's see what the Devil Deal brings him. He'll have his die charged, fully charged, I mean. And Shigen will probably finish his run in a minute or so, maybe less, depending on this floor. And this Devil Deal brings Abaddon and the Mark for Gamonymous, but he can only take one item on this character, so he picked the Mark. Speed up, damage up. Technically, I think they would be pretty much equal in this case, except for Abaddon giving Fear effect, which is not something that you would want. So the first teleport brought Gamma into the secret room, but it had a wild card. It's a new card introduced in the Repentance, and it lets you use your last active item again. This is a bug from Racing Plus, from the mod that we're using for speedrunning. It's not a vanilla thing, don't worry. It disappears as soon as you save and quit, but we're not doing that. Yeah, Shigen is now also on the second character. And Gamonymous has a trinket called Sigil of Baphomet. It's the item, the thingy in the bottom left corner. And it applies a shield that saves you from hits for every enemy killed in the room. And also in the Planetarium he got Pluto. Pluto is tears up and size down. Size down is not like the best thing in this game in terms of bugs and consistency of gameplay. It's usually much harder to get hit with such hitbox, but sometimes you can get lost. And then there are some bugs with some trapdoors in this game with the collision size. So we'll see if this will ever happen to you. Shigen started Sacred Heart. That's another item that is not in the normal item room in the game. So we're driving as far away as possible from vanilla right now. It's probably one of the strongest starters in this game because it's a very big damage multiplier and homing. Homing has been buffed in this game in comparison to the previous versions. The tiers are now heading like crazy. And yeah, we'll see what he gets for that. And yeah, Gamma is right now up to... You only had one skip, right?
Yeah.
You didn't skip anything secretly while I was looking away. You probably could, but I think you didn't. So probably we need to talk a little bit about the Racing Class mod because it's right now it's a mystery for the audience what's happening. Racing Class is a speedrunning mod developed by a person called Zemil, who is the main developer and main moderator of our community, I'll say. And it applies a lot of changes in comparison to vanilla game. Some of them I've already presented you to, some maybe we'll see them during the run. And yeah, that's I think that's most of it. You can do races with it as well, but that's a different topic. Racing is completely different from speedrunning, I think. So in the first Devil Deal, Shigen got Dead Cat.
Let's base save.
Yeah, so for the safety.
Of marathon, yeah, I wouldn't take it.
Well, so yeah, in the normal speedrun, I think you would have taken the other option. Was it ceremonial robes? I didn't see.
Yep.
Yeah, which would have been a little slight damage up, but yeah, for the sake of safety of marathon, we'll go with extra lives. So in this run, Gamonymous saw some items. Do we have any donations? Maybe it's time if you want to read anything.
We are currently trying to smash the $80,000 goal, but we will probably settle first for the 60,570 total of ESA Winter 2020. So, if you want to contribute to that, we have some amazing prizes, one of which closes in about an hour, which is the Yoshitaka Amano illustrated biography. So if you'd like to win that, you can enter now. The $15 total donation will get you an entry for this prize.
Yeah, great. So the game has deliberately been trying to make Gamonymous see as many skipping items as possible. He saw the teleport that lets you teleport around the floor. He saw shovel, which lets you dig through the floors. But undefined that he's currently holding onto is probably the best in terms of speedrun wise. So hopefully he'll see more floors and he'll be on pretty good pace. I'm not gonna jinx it, but pretty good pace. So what do we see as well? Shigen during the message reading break got some damage ups. Gamma also got some damage ups, got some books to get a bookworm transformation that applies buff of every like 25% chance he gets an extra shot. And also Birthright that applies specific buff to each character. And for the normal Lost it applies the better items buff. So he only sees items of better quality. Quality is a different quality of an item in this game. So some items are considered better and some are considered worse by the devs. So he'll only see the better ones now. But it's a mystery how it works. Sometimes. It was, at some point, community thought that it was a placebo, but maybe it works. At the same time, Shigan got Deadeye. Deadeye is the item that grants you a temporary multiplier. As soon as you precisely hit the enemies, you can get up to 2x damage multiplier. And with homing, I would say that it's slightly easier to hold on to that. And he also sees the next devil deal, which will be unfortunately Krampus, so only one item that he will see. He will take a clump of coal. It increases the damage based on the distance that he has traveled. Usually it's being rolled.
I will have a brimstone after that.
You will have brimstone after that. Yeah, there are some items that synergize good with that.
I know the seed.
You know the seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. And Gamo is on the womb too. He has one more boss and 2 more floors to finish. And he probably hopes to get a skip on the next floor. Another difference of speedrun against the vanilla game, as you can see, for all of the 3 runs that went past depths 2, in this case, all the players took negative. After defeating the first boss, Mom's Food, the first key boss, I would say, you're being granted the choice of getting the Polaroid, that grants you a shield that activates when you're getting hit if you do not have any red health, or the negative, that applies a buff that if you get hit without having red health, you damage everyone in the room, plus it grants slight damage up since the latest DLC. So speedrun wise, everyone takes negative right now, because it's a valid option. But in vanilla game, you wouldn't be able to go to the final chapter without Polaroid. But I promised you to will be as far from vanilla as possible. Let's see if you will get a skip. Unfortunately not. So yeah, the last 2 floors, they end in the 2 of the longest boss fights. And you usually want to skip the penultimate floor because actually the second to last boss, Blue Baby, is... Oh, Isaac, sorry, is a little bit harder than Blue Baby due to animation of flying away. Not harder, longer. Yeah, and Shigan as far from vanilla as possible, right?
Yeah, it seems.
This item is not even in the game. So in the latest DLC, the orbitals that are floating around the character and damage enemies, they have been quite hardly nerfed. Nerfed quite hard, not hardly nerfed, sorry. Nerfed quite hard, yeah. And Soblade is the community's take on the orbital from Afterbirth Plus, from the previous edition of the game, called Stick of Draga. It has the same mechanics, and it's probably the strongest orbital in the game right now, but yeah, in the different game. So, as you could see, Shigan died once during the Monster fight, and once during the boss rush. Boss rush is the special room after defeating the Mom's Foot where you can get up to 8 items that he can take. And he took C-Section. C-Section is literally the latest item of the game because it was added in the patch for the expansion. And it's like the most life child of developers, I guess, because it has all the synergies in the world in comparison to other items who had their synergies removed. It shoots a fetus-like object which homes towards enemies, with homing it homes a little bit farther, and damages them a lot. So it's considered one of the better starting items, and one of the more consistent items. Sometimes it's not that fast, but considering that Shigan has a lot of damage, it will be fast. Yeah, let's see what cards you get. If you get another Emperor, no you're not. And you're going with the Fool.
It's a mistake.
It's instead of the stars.
Yeah, I would.
It happens.
I thought it was a star. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, yeah. So instead of a teleporting, not for the last floor, Shigan accidentally put the teleport to the starting room. But it should be fine. Teleports in this game are trolling.
of course.
Meanwhile, Gamma's got the mine full mapping, but on the very last floor, so that's unfortunate. That's some trolling from the game. But like overall, his build is quite good. How do you feel about your build? Confident?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Shigen is catching up. Like Gamma's start was promising, but then the game remembered that, like, what it has to do, and that is not letting player advance fastly. So you only got one skip overall, right? You didn't get a second skip, and
No.
yeah,
Yes, on 1-2.
on
On 1-1.
Woman. Okay, yeah, sorry, that I could have missed. But Gamma is right now fighting Blue Baby, and will soon go and play the next character, which is Napoleon. And if you have any donations, you can read them right now, and then I will explain about this character a bit more.
Explain.
Yeah.
Certainly. Toshi donated $15 and says, "Special thanks to everyone keeping the speedrun community alive for this game. Go fast, never stop, and remember, always blame Zamiel."
Thank you very much, Toshi. Shout out to Toshi, he's a member of our community. Commentator, speedrunner, very cool guy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And yeah, blame Zamiel is an internal meme to blame the developer of the most, so don't take it too seriously. So, the Napoleon, the character that Gamma is currently playing, it's the weakest character of the 7 that we can see. It starts with awful stats, but it starts with the active item called the Void. He can consume, or as we say, void the items, which are the passive ones, and get stats from them, the permanent stats. Or he can absorb active item, and then in the future, by using the Void, he will use the absorbed items. And in Repentance, it has been changed. Beforehand, the initial use of Void on the active item has triggered the item, and now the initial Void doesn't trigger it. You need to use it once again to get the effect. Shigen is also on his Napoleon. So now it's a little bit of waiting game to see who gets the start first. Deadeye for Gamma. So yeah, we already saw this item like 5 minutes ago on Shigen's side, and it grants up to 2x damage multiplier. And considering that Napoleon has the lowest stats, as in damage and damage multipliers, and this item is kind of considered weak by the speedrunners, this can go very bad or very good. I mean, we'll see. It will go very good if we can lock the damage multiplier. By locking the damage multiplier, I mean that, as you can see, by missing tiers, the player might lose multiplier. Thanks for the presentation, Gamma. But yeah, but the tier modifiers that make your tiers become lasers on knives or whatever, they can lock the damage multiplier, so you're technically not missing any tiers because you're not firing any tiers. And that's what every speedrunner that starts with Deadeye hopes for. And then usually it ends up with blaming oneself for picking this up and promising to never take it back again. And yeah, thanks. I didn't have a chance to talk about this during the first run because it went so fast. Gamo is currently in the alternative route. So after the basement 1 and basement 2, the first 2 floors, you can select and go onto the alternative route of Dross. And usually speedrunners choose this route, even despite the enemies being different from the normal floors and bosses being a bit harder. Usually these floors are, on average, much shorter. And you also get 2 items in the item room of choice. The other one is blind, so usually we do not take it. But with Apollon, you can grab the item, quickly understand if it's good or bad, and then void it. So we will get stats up just in case, and if it's an active item, then you probably don't care. And the first devil deal for Gamma is unfortunately nothing good, which means that he is not locking in. So above the timer on the both sides, you can see some percentages. These percentages are telling you the chance of seeing the one type of deal. It's either Devil Deal, it's the one that Gamma just saw, it's with the black door, or Angel Deal with the white door. So currently, for example, Gamma has an equal chance to see both. And Shigen will see Devil Deal for sure on the next floor unless he gets hit or dies. Which probably is both at this point. No, okay. Yeah, and in this game, in this DLC, you can ensure going Angel Deals by completely skipping the first Devil Room on the second floor. And then you'll definitely see one Angel Deal, and then it can swap around. So, and Gamo, he entered the first Devil Deal. He wouldn't know which deal he would see, but he sees the Angel Deal. He had no bombs to bomb Angels to get more items. And the item was really bad, so unfortunately he had to avoid it. But to be fair, you got quite some damage ups. You have 14 damage, which is quite high for Napoleon, due to having 1 damage up from Step on the first floor and I guess from some voids, right?
Yeah.
Then Shigen's side. On Shigen's side, the starting item is Ipekak. It's a tier modifier. It shoots explosive. Well, technically it's an explosive tier. So the damage is 43. It used to be one of the best starters for the previous editions of the game. Right now it's still very good because you can bomb through the rooms. So you don't need to fight as much as you need. But a lot of synergies have been killed in this DLC, so it became indirectly weaker. And fighting the final bosses with it is still quite hard. But at the basement 2, Shigen found Tech 1.5. It's a laser that shoots sometimes randomly, but quite oftenly, and your damage set applies to its damage. So with the damage of plus 40 from Ipekak, Tech 1.5 hits quite hard. And it now applies the bombing effect, so he can bomb through the rooms easier. Because sometimes you need to go through some obstacles or enemies to actually bomb the room door with Ipekak. But with Tech 1.5 it's a little bit easier. Other than that, we'll see what the run brings to Gamma. I think Shigen's run is set to be okay. Gamma on the other side, he has damage. He got another damage up. But Deadeye is still Deadeye. And Apollon is still Apollon. As you can see, once again multiplier ran out, so... we need to hope to get some better items to go faster. This is a tears up and shot speed up, which is good because once again Apollon's base stats are not that good. So there are different types of special rooms in this game. Yeah, thanks for the presentation, Gamma, once again. really helping with the flow of the commentary. So the previous room with the spikes on the entrance is called Curse Room, and it sometimes contains some chests or some parts. And in this case, it contains some parts and cards.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And another special room was Mini Boss Room. It contains a fight with one of 7 mini bosses, 7x2. There were like special versions. And Gamo unfortunately fought the hardest one and the longest one, but it took quite a little time, right? That wasn't that long. Shigen on the other hand got Sacred Heart, Damage Multiplier, Homing, and
Everything? I would say.
yeah, and Spare of Destiny, of course, and the damage stat up of plus 40 of Ipekak also applies to it. So technically, Shigen's run is really good now, apart from the fact that Ipekak homing is not that good, and you also could have seen it right now. And you probably saw a multi-shot on his screen right now. That was lead pencil. Every 15th tier, you shoot an extra barrage of tiers. And another change from vanilla game, we have a counter. Speedrunners decided that we don't want to count that. Well, technically Zenga decided that, but cannot complain. It makes the game a little bit easier to play.
True.
So the question for you, Shigen, will you take negative or Polaroid here?
Polar.
Polaroid, yeah, for the safety.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't need damage up for this.
No.
So saved in, you will take Flight for speed up and Satanic Bible. Okay, Satanic Bible is one of the more interesting changes of the recent DLC. Before it used to just grant you a black heart, but now if you use it, you are guaranteed to see a devil item as the boss item that will cost hearts. Unless it will be a horseman boss at the end of the floor, then you will be really sad because you'll see a normal item that you never take for the price of money. But you can roll it, and it will roll into the special item. Gamo tried to find something interesting in terms of items maybe in the shop after rolling, but found an Emperor card. It's a very high density of Emperor cards on this run. I wouldn't say
I have one
it's
too.
normal.
Like, look at this. This hermit is an emperor.
This hermit will take you to the starting room.
No.
So the Emperor is the card that teleports you to the boss, and then there are some other teleports that will teleport you somewhere on the floor. And usually, the game tends to, I don't know, decide that you're not going anywhere. And with this being said, Gamo is reaching his mom's foot fight. Shigen will soon fight Mumsrod. And are there any messages to the nations you want to tell us?
I'd like to remind everyone what we're doing this for, namely Alzheimer Fund. The cost of dementia is a global challenge. If global dementia care were a country, it would be the 14th largest country in the world. By 2030, it would be the 5th largest economy in this world.
So, talking of Shigen's usage of his active item, Satanic Bible, the speedrunning problem or issue of this item is that it rocks an animation, so it kind of slows you down for quite a little bit. But I guess that it's currently being used for the sake of safety, right, Shigen? Oh, can you explain why did you take Heartbreak?
I don't know. It's just beautiful. Like.
Yeah, Heartbreak is a new item
Yeah.
in the game. It gives you some damage up and gives you some broken hearts. So much to explain what a broken hearts are, for example. So many types of HP in this game, for example. And these are the hearts that you cannot refill. Basically, it's really hard to explain in a few words. Yeah. So Gamma took the full card to use it in boss rush, so he could either void the items or get something good, right? And I guess you just went there because there was nothing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I saw that in the Devil Deal you saw Incubus before rolling. It's a familiar that flies behind the character and deals 75% of character's damage. Why did you skip that?
Too risky.
Huh? Ah, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you don't have that much HP. You would have been on 1 HP. Yeah, that's true. Shigen on to his last floor. Okay, we'll see, we'll see. Is this a good teleport? We don't know.
It doesn't seem.
It took you 3 rooms away. At least, like, if it's the correct direction, then it's good.
It's not.
It's not correct.
It's not good.
It's not the correct direction, so, well, it's
every ball.
It's a completely opposite direction, so...
Nice emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's really sad that even saying that this will teleport you to the same room would be a better option than this teleport. Did you decide to, like, get hit a lot by taking Flatstone?
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
So Flatstone is the item that makes your tears bounce, but due to homing, tears home towards the enemies and they hit you in the face. So Shigen,
I have Heartbreak, so...
you have Heartbreak, you have an extra life of...
it should be right.
It should be right. What's the extra health? Extra life. Right, the baby. So yeah, he has 4 HP plus also 3 HP when he revives, if he needs, so... Should be alright?
Should be.
Should be. I believe in you.
I'm a professional.
Huh?
Huh?
You're professional, yeah.
What? What?
Yeah, you're professional.
Am I?
I don't know.
We'll see that in 10 seconds.
Yeah, for more,
I am a professional. Yeah.
well, to be fair, you have 4 more characters to do.
Yeah, and we'll see that like in 45 minutes.
Yeah, Shigen is currently on the 4th character, it's Tainted Bethany. Bethany herself is the new addition to the game. But Tainted Bethany is her unusual version, so I will quickly guide her through her abilities. She starts with an active item called Lemageddon, and by using it, it will grant you a wisp floating around you, granting you an effect of an item. It has 25% chance to be an item from the item room, 25 from shop, 25 from bros, and 25 from the current room, right? I don't actually remember the full
Same.
pools. Yeah.
It's good. I would just say that.
Yeah.
It could be terrible, though.
Yeah. She only has soul hearts, and by taking red hearts, she fills up a special, not say the bar, but like the special line in the HUD. As you can see, Shigen currently has 14 red hearts, and those can be used to use the active items one more time for each 6 hearts, right? So currently you can use your roll 2 more times. And also she starts with duality in Racing Plus mod, so she'll see both angel deals and devil deals. And she can technically select where to go, but he started with Tech X, which was probably the one of top 2 items before.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
has been not hammered to the ground, but like nerfed really hard by this DLC. So yeah, it deals much less damage than it used to, but still angel deals are the choice here. Did you get the whiz shot from your Lemageddon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so whiz shot is a double shot, and it shoots diagonally. So I don't know, like before it used to be, I felt like it was a very good option, but right now I don't know. In Repentance it felt to me that something has changed that makes you shoot a little less often. Hit enemies, I mean. So I don't know. What do you think, Shigen?
It doesn't seem that bad. Like,
Doesn't seem...
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that good. That's not.
Well, in comparison to what you saw in the Angel deal,
Yeah.
only tears up, yeah. Usually you're hoping for homing and shot speed down in the Angel deal, because shot speed is the main stat that Tech X benefits from, especially it being low. The lower it is, the more ticks it rocks on the enemies. And that's why it's kinda good on Tainted Bethany, because you can guarantee yourself going to the Angel deals. But it's much weaker than it used to be. It's probably one of the saddest nerfs of this DLC. So Gamma on the other side, his Angel deals were quite bad, to be honest. He only found the Urn of Shadows item, which... Sorry? Yeah, sorry. And it basically is a fire extinguisher, you can say that. It fires some damage onto the enemies. These items are good. Tech 5, Capricorn all stats up, and just use the Emperor to get onto the next character. So considering that Chicken doesn't have that good of a start, to be fair, in terms of the starting item, you can accelerate further into the run. Gamma can catch up.
I will have a Sacred Art, don't worry.
You will have or him. Oh, you both? I hope you both get it.
Thanks.
Yeah, but we'll see. So, got a Thin Odd Mushroom. It's speed up, tears up, and damage down, but usually it's considered a good item. And especially here when you need to charge. So... But it can cause some issues when you're playing with a controller, right, Shigen? It's quite harder to tap, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Considering that both of these players are control players and I'm the keyboard player, I probably cannot confirm this right now. Would have been too dangerous, but Gamma started with Magic Mush. Damage multiplier. Also removed from the boss item pool in the vanilla game and also in Racing Plus as well, which is kind of a sad addition, but it's fine. It's one of the better items. Will it go Devils or Angels? Gamma. What's your plan?
Angels.
Angels, yeah. So the problem with Bethany, Tainted Bethany, going for devil deals would be that she only has soul hearts, so basically every item in the devil room will cost 3 HP, and it would be really easy to run out of HP. Shigen, on the other hand, got some quite terrible items in his engine.
I saw like all of the angel rooms, angel items, but those are terrible. It's like
Yeah, so the good thing about Tainted Bethany is that you can quickly cycle through the pools of items, considering that the angel pool is quite limited. It's like 50 items or something.
yeah. I think I see like 20 items.
Yeah, but you need red heart HP for that.
Yeah.
But you got Eucharist, which grants you a guaranteed angel deal every 4. That also grants you a guaranteed devil deal on every 4, considering that you have duality, but I don't think you will use it unless you completely like get all the good items in the angel deals.
Yeah.
And also Prism. All the tiers and shots going through the prism are getting multiplied by 4. And you get a nice random rainbow effect. And Gamon, his first angel deal, got the Mind, which grants him full mapping. But in terms of like offensive build, it's only Magic Mush right now,
Yeah.
as I can see. So you need to hope to get some bad items in the next deals. Will you consider going Devils now?
I don't know.
Yeah, so at this... yeah.
It's terrible.
So at this stage of the game for Gamo, he can probably afford going into like one devil deal due to how much HP he has and having many rolls from red HP. But once again, it's personal preference of each player, so going Angels would be completely fine here. Shigen, on the other hand, got nothing good except for pseudo mapping. The star guiding you towards the boss, and usually you only see it going like through the one room. That's it. Gamo went Devils and found damage up and rim, which is really good. So yeah, maybe the future generations of Isaac players will see that, and it will stop going Angels all the time, even on Tainted Bethany. You got mapping and Spirit Sword. Okay, so this is one of the most powerful additions to the game, along C-section, especially when you're controller player. Once again, because you need to tap. Basically, it's a sword that you need to tap really fast, but it deals enormous amount of damage. So, yeah, don't worry. But yeah, the controller players can be at a disadvantage at this point, usually having to tap really fast. So both players got Crown of Life, which is the damage multiplier, kinda checks. And Shigen was thinking about taking the Bible for a second, probably for instantly defeating the next boss, right? That's probably why he thought for a second and then decided to roll one item.
Because probably a good idea.
Yeah, because considering that you only have one extra roll from the red hearts, and you'll see another angel deal, probably you could have saved that roll for rolling more items. But once again, the earlier you get better stuff, the faster you go, so... nothing to worry about here. So Gamma will definitely go Angels from now on, I think, because he needs either the damage multipliers or homing, right?
No Sacred Heart, by the way. Nargo dead.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That was an interesting hit, but... So...
Skill.
Skill, okay.
Skill.
So... one moment, during one of the angel deals, Shigen was thinking if it is worth to exchange Tech X for the Spirit Sword, right?
Yeah.
Because usually Spirit Sword is much better, but there are some situations when it's worse. And considering that Tech X is a tier modifier. It might have been better, but Tech X is quite bad currently. You didn't find any homing, any shot speed down, so overall I think it was a correct decision. And Spirit Sword is usually harder to use in the boss of the Cathedral, for the Isaac fight, because you need to stand close, and for the whole duration of the chest, because all the rooms, like most of the rooms, only contain bosses. But it should be fine, because you have plenty of HP, right?
Yeah, but I think Polaroid would be a better decision.
Well, technically you took negative before
Yeah.
getting Spirit Sword, so not a lot you could do about it. But speedrun wise, damage up is damage up, right?
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine, and I think it will be, well, getting hit with Polaroid, and, well, technically you still lose your crown, but it will allow you to be more aggressive for the duration of the shield when you're getting hit, right?
I should be fine.
That should be fine, yeah. You're 2 rooms away from the boss. Gamma is also not far away from the boss, but 3 floors behind, so... But still very close, because Bill is fine, and... Unfortunately, Angel deals are not that good for Gamma as well. Like, you both didn't see the best item of Sacred Blood. You got the mapping. You both got the mapping, which is probably like the most important item for the speedrun game. Because sometimes builds decide nothing. It's the floors and floor generation. But this being said, Shigen is right now playing the character number 5, which is the normal version of Judas. It's one of the stronger characters stats-wise. High damage multiplier, high base damage, high tier rate, but only 1 HP at the start. So quite easy to die, but should not be an issue as soon as you find a starting item. So another change from the vanilla game for the speedrunning mod is that as soon as you're not getting hit during the first 2 floors and you enter the Devil Deal, you'll see Devil Deals being for free, and you can take 1 without consuming your HP. In the previous version it has been solved by adding some extra half soul hearts, and this has been made just to make sure that the character can guarantee taking 1 Devil Deal item as, I don't know, as a price for being skilled and not getting hit. And this mechanic will apply as soon as the player doesn't take damage and is yet to take the gifted item, but usually you're getting hit late into the game, so it's like a very rare occasion. Shigen got this section, you promised that you will skip it.
What?
Accidentally.
Yeah, no. I said I would have like... Oh.
Oh no. Yeah, that bomb kills you instantly on 1 HP, so...
I think I would die.
Yeah, I think you would die as well. So saving and quitting would replace the bomb back where it was and letting the player, like resetting the timer I think, and letting Shigen run away from it.
Yeah, it was close though.
Yeah, Gamma got Monster's Lung for his Brim, which is considered one of the better additions to the Brimstone item. It just adds extra lasers in different directions without affecting your stats like tier rate, so it just effectively multiplies your damage outcome as soon as you can hit the shots.
Do you have time for some quick donations?
Yeah, sure.
We've got a $20 donation from you, Caesar, saying, "Shoutouts to the Isaac community. Happy to see you guys being back at ESA. I appreciate you all. Let's keep Isaac alive for a little longer. Also, I couldn't let Toshi be the only one who writes wholesome donations."
Thank you, Caesar. Caesar
I'd also like to...
Yeah?
I'd also like to grab some attention for the fact that we've got a bid war going on for Zelda Twilight Princess, the language choice. So if you want to choose which language it will be in, go and check that out.
Yep, thank you. So the first deal for Shigen was not that good, right?
Yeah, and I think I did a small mistake, like
Uh,
taking the trinket.
By taking the trinket.
Yeah, I did a d6 with my guppy's bow, so I missed a piece of guppy.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal because I will have brimstone anyway.
Yeah, but you could have been 2-piece guppy.
Yeah.
But we'll see, yeah. Gam on the other hand starting Ipecac and also finding out which pill is telepills. So if he sees it late into the run, he'll probably save it for the last floor. Or for, I don't know, boss rush steal item, right?
Maybe for Cathedral.
Maybe for Cathedral, maybe, yeah. But now, yeah, Shigen rolls it one more time and... Yeah, that's an unfortunate devil deal, but C-Section is a good item on its own. So you can finish the run even with base damage, I would say, but
Yeah.
it will be slow.
It will be like 15 minutes probably.
Yeah, it's a consistent item for finishing the run. And Gamma once again going into the alternative route with 1 HP and Ipecac. Let's hope that nothing jumps out of the water from beneath and kill you or make Ipecac explode into your face. Third item that he just saw is Euthanasia. It's a luck-based item and is like, it depends on how much luck you have, and it can fire split shot after hitting an enemy with your tier. But with Ipecac that's probably not what you want, because everything will fly in face in this case. And Gamma also visiting the first devil deal with 3 items, not locking in with Satanic Bible, and unfortunately didn't have a roll, so probably we'll see some angel action again. And this time there will be no issues with bombs, because you will bomb angel statues with Ipecac. And speaking of Shigen's gameplay, Shigen...
Gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah, Shigen has found a trinket called Perfection. It's... Well, basically, as soon as you don't get hit for 3 floors in a row, you're getting this trinket that gives you plus 10 luck. So it stacks well with some other passive items and the character the lost, because you technically do not get hit. But as soon as you get hit, you lose it. And this time, these runners are getting better and better. Now it's presentation ahead of time. Seeing how it works, but yeah. That's quite unfortunate, but technically, you didn't have any luck-based items, right? So
Yep.
it's not that big of a deal in this
No.
case. But yeah, usually this trinket involves some strategies with items that shoot fires along with your tiers. And those usually rely on having 13 luck, if I'm not mistaken, so... You need those plus 10, and obviously it scales with more luck. It just caps it, I think. Sharp Key. Gamma finds Sharp Key. So, Ipecac is a really good item because you technically don't need to play the game, you just bomb through the rooms. But for the last floor of the game, you cannot bomb through the rooms. And Sharp Key will kind of fix that, because you can go through the rooms. Just open them by throwing the Sharp Key. And yeah, this... Huh?
Nice floor, by the way.
This is an amazing floor.
Yeah.
This is peak Isaac 4th generation, I would say. Also, you can use it offensively. It deals quite a lot of damage. I'm not sure how it stacks with Ipecac plus 40, to be fair. I remember that normally just 5x damage plus 30 or something, but I'm not sure how it interacts with plus 40 from Ipecac. So maybe we'll find it out. You can probably like consume it once to see how it damages the boss, right? Will you use it offensively?
No.
No, okay, you will just only stack keys and use it in the chest just to round through it. Okay. Shigan getting some slight damage ups through the whole run, which is cool, and also some slight tier rate. Basically, these are two most important stats for this start. But the most important stat overall, like one of, I don't know how to phrase it. In my opinion, speed is really important in this game.
It is.
It might even be at some stage being more important than damage, because you're currently at the base speed, and having plus 0.6 speed from this would speed up your pressing. Gamma found Twisted Pair. It's an alternative to the Incubus that you saw earlier. These two familiars behind, they both deal 37.5% damage, so in total it's still 75%. But these are two separate familiars, so they shoot in different places, so sometimes you can miss. Sometimes they can hit something that you didn't intend to hit. For example, yourself, by hitting an enemy or an obstacle or something. But yeah, usually it's considered one of the weaker starting items, but overall as an upgrade through the run, it's one of the better ones due to 75% damage boost in perfect conditions, because you will miss some hits. You got the Guppy piece too.
Yeah.
That's
Bad.
that's sad, but maybe you'll find Guppy piece 3, for example, in this curse room. Let's see.
No.
Guppy is a transformation which spawns flies as soon as your tears or modified tears are hitting the enemies, and it's really strong. So that's something Shigan would hope to get. But once again, I would say that considering that this build is not that weak, it's not something that it will change the way of the run completely, right? It will be a slight buff. So Gamma went for the damage version option, for the negative for Ipecac. So it's fine, I guess. Because technically Polaroid is still a shield, but damage up is damage up, even with Ipecac. It will, like, percentage-wise, it will not be that much of a boost, but it's still damage. So, in my opinion, this is probably the correct option here. And let's see what this Devil Deal is. It's unfortunately Krampus, so you will only get some additional HP. Empty Vessel is the item that grants you flight as soon as you don't have red HP. And unfortunately, currently Gamma has one due to taking red HP before entering the Devil Deal. And that's something that every speedrunner does, because getting items with red health is usually better. Shigan got speed up. That's
Yay!
that's cool. Also, we can see some strats using the Bone Heart right here. So Bone Heart is an special HP container type. You need 2 hits, in this case, this late into the run, to completely get rid of it. But considering that Shigan has negative, he could probably like get red HP along the way of the run and then use it to fast clear the room to trigger the negative effect, right? But right now it's far ahead, but you still can use it. Just don't overfill it probably not to lose it, right? Because right now it will work if you get 1 more red HP, it will probably not be working, right? Some more HP for Gamonymous here. On his way to fight Isaac with Ipecac build. She should be faster than usual considering the Twisted Pair, but can still take some time. We'll see. Oh, you also have Hello Ground. The Hello Ground, as soon as you get hit, the holy poop appears on the ground, and standing in its aura provides you homing, extra tier rate, and extra damage. And by extra, I mean a lot. Yeah, you'll see it right now. And as soon as you don't destroy it, you can stand in its aura. So this is quite a good damage boost as soon as your enemy don't fly away from you, deciding that you will not reach him from the aura. And now into the chest. Will you open any chest in this case, or will you save keys? You'll probably save keys. And now, speedrun-wise, it's mostly important for Gamo to guess the correct direction in 7 keys. Like, it was 8, but he opened the big room doors beforehand. So let's hope that you find it. That was a key drop just in case, so... But hopefully it will not be needed. Hopefully this is the way. Hopefully. If it's not, then this will be unfortunate. Shigan also getting into the chest. Okay, so what are interesting items in this case? So the rubber cement, the bouncy tears probably does not that much here. Like it does bounce, but yeah. Flowing hourglass though, the active item. Upon use, it teleports you back to the previous room. So technically, this is just a tool to avoid dead ends. As soon as you see a dead end, yeah, like this. Thanks for the presentation.
I can't do it here.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the floor generation generates like at least 5 dead ends or 6. I don't remember the exact number. So unfortunately, that was a case where the both ways were dead ends. So it could only use it once. But that's good. That's quite lucky that the floor ended here. It could have been much longer. It's 6-room floor and then the boss. So it's fine, yeah. But actually this race is becoming much closer with every character, and considering that the last character probably be very, very fast one. We'll see. Character number 6, Isaac. In the vanilla game, he starts with D6. So right now we can see 2 ESA logos on the screen instead of 1, because the one is built into the speedrunning mode and the other one is vanilla one. And obviously the vanilla one you can substitute it with another active item of your choice as soon as you want to. And yeah, they are both on the same time, on the same character. Let the reroll Olympics begin. Gamonymous quickly winning the Olympics by taking Tech X, but is it a win if you start with Tech X? We'll see. We'll see. Because Isaac has quite a low damage, tier rate and stuff, and with Tech X you go Angels, so we'll probably skip the very first deal intentionally, and then with an empty build we'll fight 2 Angels. That usually takes quite some time, but hopefully everything will go well as planned. Shigen on the other hand still rerolling, searching for something. Did you see anything yet?
Choco, but
Choco is not a starter.
Yeah.
Especially on this character.
It was before, but now.
It was before in vanilla, I think.
Yeah.
I don't recall that much Chocolate Milk being a starter in the Racing Plus, apart from like some selected characters like Forgotten or Azazel.
Yeah.
Gamaho got damage up from the boss and tears up from Curse Room, which is, I would say, really good and really lucky, because there are many filler boss full items which just grant you HP up, but damage is exactly what he needs for this Tech X. So now fighting the Angels in the later stage of the game will actually be much easier. Yeah, the technology is valid pick here. It applies a little buff to the ring of Tech X. It also is a laser now. So if I'm not mistaken, it's a slight damage up. Is it?
No, I think the hitbox is bigger.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. That's what I meant. Oh, I forgot this. Sorry. But let's see, so Gamo's skipping the deal, getting tier 8, which is also really good, and going normal route. Can you explain why you went normal route instead of the alternative in this case?
Because I didn't have any keys.
Oh, that's true, that's true. That I should have
Sounds
noted.
legit.
Sounds
yeah.
legit. Yeah, all the keys left in the Fort Boyard prize.
Nice meme.
Yeah, Shigan is the winner of yesterday's late night Fort Boyard escape game race.
Well, not that much because my run was validate. because.
Yeah, and
yeah,
he was supposed to get a good prize for that, but unfortunately the organizers messed something up and told him that his prize is participating in this race. So,
GG.
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 Yeah, the starting item on Shigan's side is Maw of the Void. It used to be one of the stronger items in the previous editions of the game, and I guess as soon as we get to the next power spike of the run, I will explain a little bit more about that. But right now, we can have some time for donations and messages.
I'd just like to remind everyone about the language selection bid war for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I think you're all underestimating how funny it could be to her German localization, because that stuff can get pretty out there. Currently, German is winning with $550, and the other incentives are all empty, so you've got some catching up to do if you want to hear English,
Yo.
French, or Spanish instead.
Oh no. Oh no, related to the game, don't worry.
Yeah.
So, I will firstly go back to Gamo's side for a moment, because he got his first angel deal quite quickly. And when you have two rolls, you usually tend to use the second roll even if you see some nice items in the deal. Like for example, Duality. This is the item that ensures that you see angel deals along with devil deals. But with an extra roll, it's like not offensive enough. So he rolled again, and unfortunately the items were not that good. So, but Gamo gets another angel deal. That's cool. And in the previous angel deal, he successfully managed to align the angels in the way so that the weaker angel killed the stronger angel with his laser, which definitely saved him some time. And let's see if Gamo gets anything good here. Any homing, mapping. Well, probably you hope for damage right now. Not that much for. Not that much for mapping, but unfortunately, no damage there. I'm wondering if Genesis was an option here. I don't think so, but Genesis is a very interesting item. It's barely used in speedruns, but it's a very fun item vanilla-wise. Basically, upon the use, you lose all your items, and then you're sent to a special room, when for every item lost, you're getting 3 additional items you can choose from. So, back to Shigan's side, Maw of the Void. In the previous edition of the game, Afterbirth Plus, it used to be damage up, and got a chance of spawning black cards upon killing an enemy. 100% chance upon killing a champion enemy, or I don't remember, 5% upon killing a normal enemy. Now it doesn't drop black cards, so you cannot regenerate health from it. It doesn't apply a damage up, so it's much weaker than it used to be. It's still a very strong item, and that's why it's now in the item room pool. But unfortunately, from the boss item, which is called Experimental Treatment, which randomly applies stats up, like +1 stat, -1 stat, and to your stats, it can have them in place. Unfortunately, he got damage down, and that's probably the only stat that you care about with Maw of the Void, because Maw of the Void scales with your damage. You do not care about your tier rate.
It was gamble and
Yeah.
I lose.
But you got speed up, at least.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Usually in Repentance, Experimental Treatment seems like being a good pick. It's better on average. Like, I don't know. It's purely my experience. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's still like 50-50. And also you found Pluto from the Planetarium, which is unfortunately also not really what you want, because it's just gears up and size down. You probably wouldn't want either mapping or damage ups, right? And speaking of Planetariums, Planetarium is a special room added in the DLC. It contains 11 items in the vanilla game, all the planets, Pluto, Moon, and the Sun. But in the speedrunning mod, we got rid of Mercurius. It's the item that makes all the doors in the game open and gives you speed up. It was considered a little bit
Too broken.
too broken, yeah. Because you're not playing the game, you're just fighting the bosses. And that can be done with specific builds, and basically you're not playing the game at all. Gamma found Twisted Pair. Once again, in this case it will be 75% damage boost because he will hit. And also Terra. Terra is a damage up. Also, it applies a random multiplier to your tiers, but on average it's damage up. And it also breaks obstacles and doors, but unfortunately with Tech X I don't think it breaks doors, right?
Maybe with Twisted Pair.
Maybe.
Because there were.
Maybe we'll see, yeah. Normally it
No.
doesn't. Let's see. Also damage down. These seem identical to me. I don't remember exact stats, but also speed up and damage down on the Gamma side, unfortunately. That's quite unfortunate because it was 2 stats down and the others up. And 33% chance not being nice to both of our runners. Shigan didn't get any angel deals on the previous 2 floors, unfortunately, so hopefully he gets Sacred Heart, so that's really good. It applies homing to the Maw of the Void and also applies damage up, so... And Godhead. In this case it's just the damage up and some aura. Like I don't know how much of impact will aura have at this case because Maw of the Void is your main source of damage. But still a nice addition. Slight damage up, some aura damage, right?
Yeah.
And you can also find some other modifiers that will make Godhead much more useful. Now it's the race. Now you will be catching up. You got what you needed. And on the other hand, unfortunately, Gamma is quite likely to see another deal here. But we'll see.
Oh.
And in the meantime, do we have any other donations or messages to be read?
I'd like to remind everyone that we are raising money for Alzheimer Fonden. People can get infected by Alzheimer's as early as in their 30s. Alzheimer Fonden organizes projects, camps, and events for youngsters affected in different ways due to parents or other relatives diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So if you would like to give for this charity, we are currently trying to smash the 80,000 donation mark.
Yeah, surely donate for this very good cause. So Gamma only got the pack from his last devil deal, which is some tier rate and some damage. It's like both are very slight. Stats up, but still overall it's fine. There was also option of getting Gallo, which is a 2-room charge active item that spawns an extra familiar going outside of you and shooting homing tiers, in this case lasers, onto the enemies, but it was before the roll, so it wasn't that much needed. And Gamma is now in his last floor of the 6th character out of 7, so soon we'll hopefully see some really fast action of the last character, because it's usually the fastest out of all on average, and we're not taking into account the first character, which probably all the speedrunners are trying to make fast as much as possible, just to get that good first split. But Chicken is catching up. Like, floor generation wasn't nice. This floor is definitely not nice, from what I can see. Yeah, Gamos gets lucky world card drop, so he sees the full floor now. This is a nice secret room, but unfortunately it's too late to have any use of it, so only 3 more rooms left, and the build is nice, HP is nice, so should be on to the last character pretty soon. And Shigen will probably be up to a minute behind or something like that.
It's a close one.
It will be a close one.
Yeah. I will try to catch up.
And character number 7, Azazel. Flight. Extra speed up. Extra damage. This character can start with, for example, teleportation, mapping, and stuff. I don't know, will you consider starting mapping or teleportation? We'll see.
I don't know.
Shigen, will you consider that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're behind. Well,
Yeah.
Or just because you're professional.
Wow.
I didn't mean to. That sounded terrible. I didn't mean to. Chrono Flight, you dodged starting Tech 1.5?
No.
So Tech 1.5 is usually a nice item, but considering the charge of Azazel, it's usually the charging effect, it's usually not as good. But Crown, it's firstly 2x multiplier, damage multiplier, and secondly, it's a range up. On other characters, range doesn't matter that much, but in this case, range grants you a lot of freedom of movement. And teleportation to the devil deal straight forward. Will you lock in? Gamma locks in with Satanic Bible, so you'll also see another additional devil item on this floor. Which is good. Usually, like generally, the general meta is going devils with Azazel. Especially in this case when you see the Angel Deal item as you start. But Angel Deals still have mapping, and mapping is probably the most important item here. So we'll see. It will not be wouldn't be not been a problem if the Angel Deal was Devil Deal was better or Devil Deal was skipped overall. This chest is
Terrible.
yeah.
You
But
can say that.
I was trying to figure out where the spawn is, the first one. But it looks like yeah. On to the last character. Gamma is probably planning to trying to get a little bit more money to get Diplopia. Did you try to go for that?
No. Maybe Blancardo, because I have an Emperor now.
Yeah, now we have blank card. Yeah, before that you didn't, but now we have blank cards. That's good news for Gamma, bad news for Shigen.
Yeah.
And also damage up from the boss. Unfortunately, he had to pay health for that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another case of special boss giving damage up. Shigen started Chocolate Milk. In the previous editions, it was just the Tears Up. But right now, it's like it actually charges and gets you a much more powerful laser shot than it used to. Getting HP up, I guess, just for the sake of getting the Devil Deal.
Yeah, I would go.
And going Ultra out, so it's shorter, so there is a chance that he will not charge your D6. So it's like 2 in 1. But let's see what the Devil Deal brings to you. Because as of now, well, nothing is set in stone. No mapping on both sides. Yeah, now Shigen doesn't have HP for the deal, and it's damage down again. It's these stats. This is like the 3rd time in a row when these stats modify apply. I don't know. A Rosary is Tears Up plus Resoul Hearts, and also it grants a chance of some item being substituted with the Bible. So for example, he can see the Bible now in Devil Deal, Angel Deal, Planetarium, like whenever, wherever. Sometimes it can be unfortunate, sometimes, I don't know, if you just see it normally, then the Bible is a nice item considering that Shigen doesn't have an active item, and it can instantly kills 2 bosses late into the game. But you will have to fight angels at some point, and hope that they will give you some damage multipliers or mapping, because you probably need mapping to keep up with. the Emperor run.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game giving Shigen some cards, but none of them are that good. The card he's currently having is Get Out of Jail free card. It acts as a dead key. It just opens all the doors in the room you're currently in. Oh, here's the Bible. Quite fast, I would say. That's really good to see it in this pool rather than Planetarium or Boss Ed.
Yeah, that's better here.
And take it out of Angel Pool, because in Angel Pool, actually, if you have Rosary, you can re-roll the Bible into the Bible. Like other items, roll into the Bible. Usually items are deleted from the pool as soon as you see it. But in the case of the Bible, this sometimes works, right?
Oh, it doesn't seem.
I don't know, I remember it sometimes somehow working. So probably this case is just damage up and no going through the rooms for you.
Which is not that bad, I guess.
Yeah. And Devil Deal bringing Guppy's head to Gamma, so it's just a Guppy transformation touch. And also, as I saw, you didn't use the Satanic Bible on the previous flow. Was it a deliberate decision to not see the Devil item and get a normal item, or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the problem, it's not technically a problem, but as soon as you use your Satanic Bible on every floor and seeing boss Devil Deal pool items, the problem is that you're not seeing normal boss items, and those give you stats up sometimes. Yeah. And you got a trinket that grants you a lot of TRH again.
Yeah.
Which is good. Good for charging your chocolate milk faster.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, you got Crown of Light as well.
Yeah.
So you are one Emperor or one mapping
Probably closer.
behind. Yeah. I mean, floor generation can be really nice to you and not nice to Gamma.
Yeah.
We'll see. It can be close. But yeah, unfortunately no playing card. Gamma. So considering that we're getting into the last stage of the game, because Shigen is already into his Boom 1, so only 4 floors left for him. And 5 floors left for Gamma, probably we can have like the last break for reading the donations and messages if you have any.
Well, since it's been 3 o'clock CET, a new prize is opened, which is a Moogle plushie, and I hear it's very soft. So, if you donate $10 to our cause, you will be entered to win it. So if that interests you, just head on over to the donations page.
Yeah, head over to the donations page and enter the giveaway. And only one deal probably ahead of Shigen. It would be really lucky if there will be 2 more deals, right?
Yeah.
Because you will either see it right now and have a low chance next floor, or not see it right now and have 100% chance next floor. Gamma getting some really long floors, unfortunately. So it can be close. It can be really close in this case. But maybe the shop will bring him desired blank card. No, it will give him reds too. Okay, I'm really glad I was seeing this item here. It's we call it a soup, but it's like a red stew. And it's quite heated in the beginning, so it grants you a huge damage boost. But as long as the run goes, the damage modifier becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. But you can get more damage by killing enemies. So overall it's a huge boost at this point, because it gave you plus 40 damage. So it will allow you to catch up a lot. And those plus 40 mostly come from the Crown of Light, because normally it's plus 20 or something. The last devil deal for Shigen was not that nice, unfortunately.
No.
So now we'll have to deal with this run only with these items and...
can I interrupt once more real quick?
Yeah, I saw like a pop-up about donations, so feel free to.
7 Gamo 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 7 donated $5 and said, "Hello, Bebe and Bebu. Try to be as good as Messi last Tuesday and remember to chant when you win."
The last devil deal for Gamo is Eye of Occult. It's a very interesting interaction. It basically becomes marked. So now his laser brimstone is not as limited in range, but he needs to control it with controller. It can be tricky, but it should be fine. Is it easy to control it with controller, Gamma?
Yeah.
And Shigen fighting Isaac, and soon entering the next and the last floor of this run. And these items are not good. Taking less racks just for the safety, I guess. Because even after revival, we will still have a good build of Crown of Light and Trace Agent. Trace Agent doesn't apply anything to Brimstone or Hazel, so that's nothing. But let's see. Already 2 dead ends being hit. And Gamma on his way to the non-smart fight. Yeah, Gamma didn't get last Devil Deal. Probably fine. It could have actually been a waste of time. Oh, the Stars card for Shigen, but quite late. I don't think you teleport at this point of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, so just trying to find the boss as soon as possible. It should be like 2 rooms away from here, maybe. Looks like. I would place a bet on like 2 or 3 rooms. And it should have been this direction. I would be surprised if this was a dead end. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, time is coming soon.
Time is coming soon. Gamma needs to find the boss as soon as possible. But Shigen finishes the run. GG. This is really close because Gamma already entering the Isaac run.
That's
Isaac
pretty
fight.
insane.
Yeah, and we'll finish in approximately 10-15 seconds. Entering the last floor, teleporting, and GG.
Wow.
This time.
That was close. Like, let's be honest.
That was close, intense, and the runs were good.
Yeah.
There was nothing like really, really bad. And by the way, don't worry, the timers that you see on the screens are quite different from what you see up there, because we're using in-game timers, so...
Yes. Well, it was pretty good, yeah, I would say. Thanks, Jalen, for the commentary. It was pretty good. Like, we didn't need to do nothing. We can be entirely focused on the game, so thank you for that. What could we add more? Like, big shoutouts to the Isaac community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for you.
Special shoutouts to the members of our community who are doing streams in other languages, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Japanese, Russian, French, Spanish. Having members of our community as recasters.
That's a lot.
So
yeah.
huge
We'll-
appreciation too.
We love you guys.
And to all the other recasters. And to the audience and to everyone, thank you very much.
Well, I guess that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you,
GG.
guys.
Yeah, thank you to
GG.
the runners. Congratulations to Shigan and also to Gamonymous for very competitive times. After this short intermission, we will be back with a run by Joshimus, GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition. So tune in for that.